about the land of her birth.
We do up poems and plays, and we entertained ourselves with the way we were. So as I began to come up, and I just decided that I'd write about what we were forgetting so that other people would know what is what, how it went, and I just got into it. So sometimes all over the years, the schools, the community, they would ask me, could you write a poem concerning this for this or that? And it's been like that. How will they know? How will they know if you didn't relate? When you entered school, you wrote on a slate. Eventually graduating to half a book and pencil. In order to learn, you had to be vigilant. How will they know about having no shoes, hand-me-down clothing out of date and loose, underwear made from washed flower bags, okay, and Robin Hood emblems printed like flags? How will they know about hard, earnest toil? Harvest abundant came from the soil. It just comes naturally. If somebody comes to me and tell me to do a poem or a play, I just say okay, and they tell me what they want, and I just go to it.
And it can't get any better than this. At 93, Delbert Cartwright from Grays is known as the walking and talking storyteller, historian. To many, he is Long Island's encyclopedia.
I was born before penicillin, television, syrup, plastic, frozen food, contact lenses, and long before the pill. Before radar and credit cards and split atoms and laser beams and ballpoint pens. Before condominiums, drip dry clothes dryers, pantyhose, and before a man walked on the moon.
And that's the vibrant spirit of Long Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Beverly Curry.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Minister of Grants Bahama giving an update on the work of the Rehabilitation Program. A local activist says combining the environment with natural resources should work to the benefit of Bahamians. And we have the latest on the GB Utilities $5 million reverse osmosis plant. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. The government of the Bahamas is now reaffirming its commitment to expunge the records of COVID-19 emergency orders offenders. The Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee was formed in 2019 with a mandate to review applications and make recommendations for the expungement of records to the Minister of National Security. Its focus has been on young people and first-time offenders. Tonight, the Minister for Grants Bahama is giving an update on the progress to date. Megan Shepard reports.
Minister for Grants Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, calling it a good day for Grants Bahama, as some young persons, through the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee, have had minor criminal offenses expunged from their records. Minister Moxie says that the government is committed to creating avenues for Bahamians to succeed.
One of our mandates in our 10-point plan for the Blueprint for Change is compassionate social relief and the expungement of records for the offenses that are due based on the violations of the emergency orders. Again, we are going to ensure that those records are expunged, and for Grand Bahama Island. This ministry is responsible for the promotion of employment and entrepreneurial opportunities for the island. I think this is an ideal time as well for those that have been not been able to find jobs based on these records to be able to re-enter the job market.
On Grand Bahama, 28 applications have been processed, and a recommendation was made in August to have 9 of those records expunged. Additionally, there were another 8 applications for expungement of records on Bimini. Committee member with responsibility for the Northern Bahamas, Dudley Said, says he is grateful to serve in this capacity, which essentially helps first-time offenders and young people restart their lives with a clean slate.
Some of the offenses were got expunged, small marijuana case, grievous harm, and 1 assault with a deadly weapon. But what I want to say is this is a golden opportunity for folks to get their life restarted. We did about 28 applicants. We got, like I said, 9 got expunged. We have 2 applicants. They applied too early. We have 1 more applicant. We asked to seek counseling. And we have 2 more applicants. Their record was referred to the prerogative of mercy.
Brian Bullard Jr. is a Grand Bahama resident that has benefited from the program. He says the process to sign up was smooth, and he is thankful to God for this fresh start.
With this offense, it had hindered me from moving forward in my life. I couldn't go back. I couldn't travel. I couldn't finish my studies abroad. And it's a little difficult getting a job because based off of what was on my police record, employers wasn't sure if I would cause damage on their job site based off my police record. But thanks to Mr. Dudley said and his outreach ministry, I was able to get my police record expunged and move on with my life and do some productive.
Now, Bullard says he plans to continue his educational studies abroad, Said, adding that he believes that this program will have a positive effect on the wider community. If you are a first-time offender and interested in having your record expunged, Said explains how to sign up.
You just need to bring 2 passport pictures, any beam and identification, fingerprint, and 2 references. And you can pick up the form at the Reach Out Community Center. But I think this is awesome. I mean, when I talk about programs, this is one of the programs I think is the best thing ever happened to young folks because they commit minor offense and they can't work. And I think if we look at it properly, if we could give the young men an opportunity to get a job, I think crime will go down.
Nationally, of the 200 applicants who have applied to the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee to date, 31 individuals have had their records expunged. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
A local environmental activist commending the government tonight for joining the Ministry of Environment with Natural Resources. He believes it sets the right tune, but notes that action must be taken to ensure that future generations are secured. The Honorable Vaughn Miller has been appointed the minister with responsibility for the environment as well as natural resources. Environmentalist Joseph Darville says he was pleased to know that the Davis administration has joined the 2 portfolios, calling it a very significant combination.
I think it's one that's logical. It's almost one that I would say being sort of manifested from heaven above. Because we in the Bahamas, our country, our environment actually is our natural resources. It is by virtue of them that we exist, that we're able to feed our people, that we're able to bring millions of people to our country to enjoy our environment.
Darville says combining natural resources and environment means that there has to be an overall perspective that Bahamians are assured that future generations are secured.
And our resources are being used and abused significantly by foreign entities and by a very small minority of Bahamians. And that has to change. And I think in bringing the natural resources under portfolio of the environment means that it has to be seen holistically, that we cannot exist one without the other. And let's just look at a number of the natural resources that we have and how the Minister of the Environment must have the fortitude, whatever powers that can be exercised legally, to be able to safeguard and protect them.
The chairman of Save the Bays and Waterkeepers Bahamas says he wants to see Bahamians benefit from natural resources like aragonite and aggregate.
Year after year, I never see a budget line allocated to the aggregate that's collected from Grand Bahama, which is in the millions and millions of tons and sold to, particularly to the USA. They have a consistency within them that they could build the best roads, they could build the best buildings, and so on. But Bahamians are not profiting from the aggregate that's harvested in this country and sold abroad.
And Darville is trusting that the new minister will do right by the Bahamian people.
When we look at how we're going to enhance the, how we're going to profit from natural resources, we hope to see budget lines indicating the aggregate that goes out of the country. We want to see a budget line in the national budget as to what happens to the aggregate, how much money the Bahamas government is getting from it, who is profiting from it. And my take is that if there has been abuse in the past, there has to be recompense for that. People have to own up if they have abused the resources of this country.
The Grand Bahama Utility Company is now entering the final phase of their $5 million reverse osmosis plant. This phase involves extensive testing, which must take place for a 30-day period, and commissioning of the facility. The testing phase is expected to include environmental monitoring and regulatory approval in order for the water to be declared potable. All things considered, the plant is projected to be fully operational by the first week in November, and the systematic procedure will ensure the complete removal of non-potable water from the piping system to ensure the continuous supply of high-quality potable water. Now, construction on the new 3 million gallon reverse osmosis plant began in January and suffered a short delay this summer when critical equipment was not shipped on time. Director of Operations Filcher Grant says, as a result, the utility company is roughly $9 million in the hole, including lost revenue, building costs, and providing free water while constructing the new plant. She also notes that the company has made a significant capital investment to provide resiliency and storm hardening of their systems, efforts that are necessary in light of climate change and anticipated increase in frequency and strength of future storms. Grant says the new system will ensure that the island's freshwater supply will never again be interrupted for a prolonged period due to a devastating storm. In other news, a small group of parents are up in arms tonight regarding the implementation of a particular rule associated with the National High School Diploma Program. They say they are fighting for an amendment that will benefit all students. Megan Shepard has details.
A group of parents say a policy implemented in 2017 regarding the National High School Diploma Program is disenfranchising thousands of students. There are a number of criteria that must be met in order for students to graduate high school, including maintaining a cumulative grade point average of 2.0 over the 3 years, completing 20 hours of job readiness training, and complete a minimum of 27 credit hours. Now, according to Marvin Clark, there is one clause that the parents believe will hinder thousands of students.
The ministry itself has enforced where the students who've gotten F between the grades of 10 through 12 are not going to be able to walk during their graduation. Their plans were to have recovery classes, but these classes were not going to be given until after you graduate or until after the graduation ceremony, which to us does not make sense. The former Ministry of Education, they enforced it in 2017, but not giving the kids amplified time to be prepared for their upcoming graduation.
Donita Clark is adding that she believes that the policy is also extremely unfair for students that have maintained exemplary GPAs. She is calling for more clarification from officials.
If you are a 3-point student or 3.50 and up or whatever, if you get one F, you cannot walk. So it doesn't matter if you are below a 2-point or in the middle or whatever. Even if you was up there and you have one F because something occurred in your life at home, maybe family problem, family separating, whatever, death or whatever, no one cares. And we're bringing that to the media, and we're bringing that up because not just our kids, but all of them are our kids, and they are the future.
Recalling a story shared with her by a student, Adriana Gordon says officials must show greater compassion to students who may be facing unspoken challenges, whether it be in their learning styles or personal issues.
Some of my son's friends, I understand, were let go from the system, I guess, because they say where they are now in their GPA or their grades, it seems like they will not be eligible for graduation. So they no longer attend the school. And that was saddened because one of the young men said to me, Ms. G, they don't know what they're doing. And I said, what do you mean? He said, they don't know they could be putting criminals out on the streets now. And that really hurt me. And I said, the devil is a liar. We will not speak that over you young men. And so we need to do something better with the system, with the children who maybe not excelling to the GPA or grade point levels that we're asking. Not all children learn the same. There are different avenues and different approaches to get children to attain levels that we would like for them to attain. And so we are appealing for the compassion of whomever are in authority to revisit the system and find a better way to deal with helping these children when it's time to graduate.
Gordon adds that if students will be removed from the schooling system, officials must also provide other opportunities for the students to succeed going forward. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Education officials say the current policy was put in place to improve the level of performance in the public school system. The graduation standard right now is of a 9th grade education. This policy, they say, has been enforced in the public school system for the past 5 years. In other news, an advisory making its rounds on social media indicating that the Royal Bank of Canada is making amendments to its deposit account interest rates. According to the notice, effective October 1st, 2021, interest rates on their BSD deposit accounts will be adjusted. As it relates to savings accounts, all BSD deposit savings accounts are now non-interest bearing until further notice. The notice also states that new term BSD term deposits will be offered at a rate of 0% until further notice. For existing clients with a BSD TD, the TD will be allowed to run at its contractual interest rate until maturity. Renewals or rollovers of existing BSD TDs will be at a rate of 0%. This news not sitting well with Bahamian customers, and some are now rethinking their relationship with RBC. Activist Joseph Darville calls it unacceptable.
If they're doing that to the Bahamian people, I cry shame on that. It's despicable. It is uncalled for. They have utilized billions of dollars of Bahamians who have deposited money in there, lending the money to borrowers and gaining inordinate interest on those particular deposits. So I just cannot get my heart and mind around that particular announcement.
RBC has since issued a brief statement in the wake of that policy change. On October 1st, the bank changed its interest rates on savings accounts and term deposits to 0% until further notice. The bank reasons that its decision is in response to local market and economic conditions that affect its business and approach to the interest rates it offers clients. RBC concludes by stressing that for more than 100 years, it's provided dedicated service to the Bahamas and have been a good corporate citizen through charitable donations and community programs, adding that it values its clients in the Bahamas and around the world and remains committed to working with them to provide them with the products and solutions to meet their needs. And the hunt is on for two men who reportedly robbed a business establishment at gunpoint last night. The armed robbery taking place shortly after 10 p.m. at the business on Kings Road off Midshipman Road. Reports say two masked males entered the establishment armed with firearms and demanded cash. They were able to get away with an undetermined amount of cash. The assailants also stole a cell phone and a radio set from the security officer and fled in a western direction. Investigations are continuing. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.
Down now. For your large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear hard hats, steel-toe boots, and climbing belts. They don't prowl the streets at night looking for the bad boys. They're the good guys, saving us during our darkest hours, putting their lives on the line every day to make ours brighter. They're the ones you call because you know they'll be there every time. It's not easy being a hero. Sometimes they're painted as the villain. But if there's one thing all heroes have in common, is that they don't give up. They're always fair, focused on helping those in need. Because for those heroes, it's more than a job. It's a duty. Some people try to be heroes, others just are. At Grand Bahama Power Company, we are proud to know a few heroes, always there for you.
Hi, I'm Wes. I'd like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast, with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Home Design Center is your one-stop shop for all your home and office needs. Whether you're just completing your new home, redecorating your office, or remodeling moms and dads, our chic interior designers are able to cater to any look and need. Located at the Gold Rock Complex, Freeport, visit our 20,000 square foot showroom and find exactly what you've been looking for. Call us today at 351-6561 and speak with one of our furniture experts. Home Design Center, make your house a home.
Seize the opportunity to be featured in Esquire's 2022 calendar. Send a photo of you outfitted in your Esquire attire by October 15th or WhatsApp them at 727-6367.
At Peddlers, we have a wide selection of inexpensive furniture and appliances without sacrificing quality. We offer quality, pre-owned, refurbished furniture. We restore furniture and appliances to make sure they are customer ready.
We carry bed sets from kings to queens to fulls to twins. We carry couches, love seats, chairs, ottomans, dresses, nightstands, mirrors, patio furnitures, indoor and outdoor furnitures, vanities, end tables, coffee tables, lamps. We carry a whole variety of dining ware and kitchenware, chinas, plates, cups, utensils. We are located at 21 Logwood Road, right in the front of Grand Bahama Power Plant. Our store operations hours are Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
And now it's time for a check of sports with Ramiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports, the Grand Bahama Tennis Association hosting a community clinic for children ages 6 and up at the Freeport Rugby Club, featuring skilled tennis instructors who are teaching the basics. We stopped by to take a look. Week 1 of the camp getting underway at the Freeport Rugby Tennis Court. President of the Grand Bahama Tennis Association, Natishka Barrett, says she is encouraged by the number of youngsters turning out to play the sport.
We are actually starting out with about 7 children, and I'm encouraged because it's something that we can actually build on. So we have children from Walter Parker Primary School, Sunland Baptist Academy, as well as Mary Star of the Sea School. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks, and I'm hoping that we can get more children introduced into the program as we go.
For the first week attendees, it was all about technique.
I've been learning forehand and backhand, how to move around the tennis court, the goals around the tennis court.
It actually is fun, and I've learned a lot of things, and I encourage people to come out and try it. I have learned how to get the ball over the net and how to position properly.
Tennis instructors Danny Rigby and Sydney Pratt say they are impressed by the level of play shown by the youngsters.
Bahamian kids are real talented. Just today, we got 2 guys that never even play, and they're actually hitting the ball over the net like you might see in the clip, and it looked real good. So all they need to do is have a chance to come out, and hopefully more kids would enter and come out next week. We'll be looking to see them.
The thing is, they really like the game. They like moving around. So far with the kids that we've seen, look like they're doing very well, from the start.
Now the camp is every Saturday beginning at 10 a.m. On the closing day, which is October 30th, organizers are looking to have a skill competition where attendees can showcase their newly acquired skills. Heading into the NBA now, preseason action winding down. DeAndre Ayton netting 8 points with 11 rebounds and dishing out an assist in the Suns' 119-74 win over the Blazers as they close out preseason play. Now the Suns still haven't reached an agreement on Ayton's max contract extension. He is eligible to sign a 5-year, $172.5 million extension that could reach $207 million. The 23-year-old broke his silence on the matter, noting that he loves Phoenix, but he is disappointed. The Suns were 2 wins away from a championship last season, and Ayton says he wants to be respected like his peers are being respected by their teams. Ayton averaged 14.4 points and 10.5 rebounds a game last season, and in the Suns' playoff run, he averaged 15.8 points and 11.8 rebounds and posted 14 double-doubles. The Phoenix Suns have until October 18th to offer the 5-year extension. Ayton is seeking. If nothing happens, he could become a restricted free agent next offseason. Meanwhile, rookie Kai Jones and the Hornets closed out their preseason play against Dallas, losing that one 127-59, and Buddy Hield and the Sacktown Kings will close out their preseason tonight against the Lakers. And that's a look at sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Are you ready to step out with designer shoes or handbags? Visit Steppin' Out.
They've relocated at number 4 Old Sam's Plaza. Stepping out when you want to put your best foot forward.
Transparency, honesty.
And accountability are what you deserve.
You deserve a smarter grid.
With meters that show you where your energy is going.
A modernized grid that share all the data and allow us to proactively address the issues. A resilient grid that notifies us the instant your service is disrupted. You deserve the highest standard of service.
With a smarter grid and modern infrastructure. This is why advanced metering infrastructure
is here.
Alive brings to you the iPhone 12 64 gigs for $249 when you switch to Alive postpaid. Alive, believe in best.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Hey there, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt from the Fitness Connection, and welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip to help you along your health and fitness journey. Today we're at Nesbitt Fitness in the Raven Mall, and I'm going to give you tips to get on track and stay on track, specifically with your workouts. Tip number 1 is to set a goal and to make a plan. You don't want to go into it blind. Don't just wander in the gym or follow along with someone and try to mimic them. Make sure you have the proper guidance and information before, and make sure you know exactly what you want to do, whether it's I want to lose 10 pounds in a month, have what your goal is, weight loss, weight gain, and then a time frame attached to it, so you know exactly what you're aiming towards. You can go further when you know exactly where you want to go. Tip number 2 is to get a partner or a trainer. This is specifically important if you're going in a gym, if you have no experience at all. This can help prevent you getting injured, for one. And if you're injured, of course, you can't continue on your journey, so you want to make sure that you have the proper information, someone guiding you. And also a partner can help you to stay motivated and stay on track on the days when you don't feel like going. Your partner can be the one to give that extra push to get up and get it done. Tip number 3 is to start now. Don't wait for the perfect day. Don't wait for that perfect Monday when you feel the best, when you get all the right gym outfit, the right shoes. Just get started. You can figure out the small details afterward. But the important part is to get started, get in there, and it's never going to be a perfect time, so just get it done. And last but not least, if you fall off, you've had a bad meal, you missed a couple workouts, you felt sick, make sure just hop back on and get on track. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips were helpful for you, and make sure that you use them. If you haven't started, if you're on your journey already, make sure you use them to help you get better every day.
Your number 1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Audra Forbes, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we thank you for your support. And tonight we want to say happy birthday to Tanya Monroe. All the best to you, Tanya. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Mizek. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the Prime Minister reveals plans to restore hurricane-torn Abaco. A further breakdown of the latest crime stats. A local bank backs its policy change. And police are hoping to find both a missing man and an alleged fraudster. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Report returns.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news, the nation's leader is forecasting an economic recovery for the island of Abaco that, along with Grand Bahama, was devastated by Hurricane Dorian 2 years ago. While sharing national plans inclusive of reducing VAT to 10% and increasing pensions for seniors, the Prime Minister shared how his government intends to have a direct impact on that family island community. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Government could soon launch a new housing initiative for hurricane-ravaged Abaco. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, addressing the 2021 Abaco Business Outlook Thursday morning, says in the wake of 2019's monster Hurricane Dorian, his administration is minded to pursue rebuilding initiatives with a bias toward action.
We are currently reviewing a house building proposal to build 150 homes. Several construction types are being considered, including modular and prefabricated housing. The prefabricated housing provides for a rapid factory to be built on Abaco, with the equipment brought in and people trained to operate them.
Hurricane restoration is not the sole issue facing that island, with the nation's leader mentioning a continued challenge in securing life insurance payouts for those deemed missing since the natural disaster. The Menace administration buried 55 Abaco residents last May, but hundreds have not been seen since Dorian. The Prime Minister is hoping to bring some resolve and give families closure.
We are reviewing this to see what interventions may be required, legislative or otherwise, so that people aren't forced to wait 7 years for a formal presumption of death after a disaster. Apart from the financial burden this imposes, the psychological burden is immense.
He says even as the country moves toward recovery, the country will need to adapt as climate change is a growing threat. It's a concern he voiced during his recent address to the United Nations. Davis intends to again appeal to world leaders for greater climate-related funding when he attends the Climate Change Conference in Scotland later this month, an opportunity to remind them of the Bahamas' vulnerabilities. The Prime Minister says the country's fiscal position is another strain, as public debt is more than $10 billion, having doubled in 4.5 years.
We've yet to understand how these funds were applied or how they benefited the Bahamian people. Public revenue remains significantly down because of a combination of uncollected taxes, tax cuts for the wealthiest individuals, businesses, and properties, and a sluggish recovery with no articulated plans for growth. The news of a further credit ratings downgrade that had been suppressed until just after the election made the situation even more bleak.
Abaco business stakeholders also heard how government's plan to revitalize the economy includes overhauling the national investment policy, attracting high-quality foreign direct investment, and empowering domestic investors.
As we developed investment plans to build on the strengths of each island in the Bahamas, we will highlight the untapped opportunities we see within sustainable tourism, boating, sailing, and fishing, among other industries that need capital directed towards them.
He says the new investment strategy will look to build on those strengths, appealing to the business community that success will depend on all sectors of the community and that they have a key role to play. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, construction on the Leonard Thompson International Airport in Marsh Harbor, Abaco continues, with Director of Aviation Algernon Cargill sharing that it is more than 50% complete. The government, through the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, is investing $1.5 million for its repair. Cargill says several of the airports on that island have been damaged, with the Treasure Key Airport set to be rebuilt at a cost of $1.8 million.
We would estimate that probably an additional $2 million is required to rebuild the customs building
as well as the Crash Fire and Rescue Combined Building Administrative Services Building, which houses the tower. The repairs at the airport are approximately 70% completed, and we anticipate full completion of all the repairs by the end of 2021. The government has invested more than $500,000 in air conditioning at the airport, as well as mold remediation, in addition to the $1.5 million in construction repairs. So altogether since Dorian, approximately $2 million has been invested in returning the Mount Shelby Airport to its original days.
Now, the aviation director also gave an update on the PPP for 7 Family Island airports that Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Aviation and Investments, the Honourable Chester Cooper, told reporters earlier this week has been placed on pause pending the completion of a review. He says there was strong interest from the international community at the June 28th industry briefing, with a planned pre-qualification set for between October and November. Well, in other news this evening, despite a slight reduction in crime, homicides remain a vexing issue for local authorities, who note a substantial increase within the past 9 months. 79 murders here in New Providence, 6 in Grand Bahama, and 2 in the Family Islands give us 87 so far this year. And that's not taking into account those on record for the month of October. As it stands then, homicides have increased by a startling 61%. Police analysis show that killings were more prevalent in the South Central Division, accounting for 18% of the overall total. Preliminary figures further show that murders were more likely to occur on a Monday or Thursday and between the hours of 4 p.m. and midnight. 52 of the 87 murders happened within that window, another 20 between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., and 15 between midnight and 8 a.m.
Victims between the age of 18 and 35 represent 66% of all homicides. Retaliation and conflict were the most common motives for murders, representing 55% of the total. Fatal gunshot wounds remain the leading cause of death, accounting for 75 murder incidents. We were able to solve 59% of all murder cases from January to September 2021.
As for other crimes against a person, we're told that between January and September, there were 20 cases of attempted murder compared to 15 in 2021. 4 cases of manslaughter, 40 reported cases of rape, 4 attempted rape, 317 armed robberies, 73 robberies, and 11 attempted robberies.
During the period under review, the Sexual Offenses Unit investigated a total of 131 cases. This figure represents a 13% decrease when compared to the same period in 2020, when there were 151 sexual offenses reported. These offenses include rape, unlawful sexual intercourse, and attempted rape. We reinforce the message to young persons on good touch, bad touch, and talk to them about sexual offenses. In addition, we remain vigilant, knowing that children were at home on the Zoom platform while their parents were at work. Therefore, we put resources in the communities and conducted frequent patrols in residential areas to ensure the safety of our children.
Meantime, there were 11 incidents of police-involved shootings resulting in 6 deaths and 5 non-fatal injuries. 5 cases are before the coroner's court, while a 6th is being processed.
The Missing and Exploited Persons Investigations Team continued to work with the National Trafficking in Persons Task Force. Thus far, for 2021, there were 109 reports of missing persons throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. 69 in New Providence, 26 in Grand Bahama, and 14 in the Family Islands. 69 reports required no further action, where persons were found safe, and 40 cases remain open under investigation.
Well, a constant on the front line of the war against COVID-19, police officers no doubt among those falling ill to the world's public enemy #1. The police commissioner sharing with the press Wednesday that between January 1st and September 30th, 138 officers tested positive.
Currently, there are 6 police officers infected with COVID-19. To date, a total of 1,650 police officers and 284 police reserves have been vaccinated against the coronavirus. Regrettably, the coronavirus has taken the lives of 7 police officers and 2 police reserves. We commiserate with their families, and I would again like to proffer my heartfelt condolences in their time of bereavement and my gratitude for their outstanding service to the force and, by extension, the Bahamian public.
Turning now to the latest COVID-19 numbers, the COVID tracker showing a combined 92 cases for October 11th and 12th. 70 of those cases are on New Providence, 10 on Grand Bahama, 2 on Abaco, 4 on Eleuthera, 1 each on the Berry Islands, Acklins, and Inagua, with another 3 locations pending. That puts the nationwide total to 21,815. 31 of the new cases are males, the other 61 females. At last count, there were 142 people in hospital, 15 of them in the intensive care unit. Active cases stand at 1,253. 3 more deaths have also been reported, all from New Providence. A 47-year-old female who died on September 27th, a 73-year-old female on September 29th, and a 67-year-old male on September 29th. The national death toll from COVID-19, 608. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Ever since eating at KFC, Mark became the new savings icon. Get a KFC meal deal with 2 pieces of tender, juicy chicken, golden brown fries, a biscuit, and a soda for only $6.90 including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. WhatsApp HI to 557-3663. KFC Nassau. So good.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because I recently had someone ask me, they said, Daniel, how do I explain unemployment to my kids? How do I explain that I'm not working and we on welfare, we on government assistance? How do I explain that to my children? And the only thing I could tell them is one word, and that's temporary. Everything is temporary. Because see, when you walk by faith and not by sight, what you understand is that even though you don't see things changing, you don't have to see it, you just know that it's happening. And then he said, but it's been over 2 years. I haven't worked. So how do you explain temporary? And that's when I had to let him know that, hey, to God, one day is like 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is like one day. So don't compare today to forever. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So 10 a.m. Conversations with Christ every Sunday.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
RBC issuing a brief statement in the wake of a startling policy change that of some of its customers rethinking its relationship with the Canadian bank. On October 1st, the bank changed its interest rates on savings accounts and term deposits to 0% until further notice. The bank reasons that its decision is in response to local market and economic conditions that affect its business and approach to the interest rates it offers clients. RBC concludes by stressing that for more than 100 years, it's provided dedicated service to the Bahamas and have been a good corporate citizen through charitable donations and community programs, adding that it values its clients in the Bahamas and around the world and remains committed to working with them to provide them with the products and solutions to meet their needs. Well, some 234 Haitian nationals boarded 2 Bahamas Air aircraft for a flight back home this morning, the first taking off at 7:26 a.m. from New Providence with 53 males and 11 female migrants. Once in Matthewtown, Inagua, they picked up another 64 migrants for the trip to Haiti. A second Bahamas Air flight left Inagua around 11:40 a.m. with 106 males on board. Both groups heavily escorted by a joint law enforcement team of immigration officers and Defense Force Marines. Officials further assured that all COVID-19 protocols were strictly enforced. Commendations extended to the team on the ground in Inagua, headed by Assistant Director Stuart Curtis and Superintendent Peter Joseph. Well, police need your help locating 47-year-old Calvin Alfonso Pickering. The dumping ground corner resident's been missing since Monday, September 30th, when he was last seen leaving his home. Pickering has dark brown complexion, stands between 5'8" and 5'9" tall. He's of slim build. Meantime, Edward Alexander McKinney is wanted by police. His alleged crime? Fraud. Authorities pinning down the 26-year-old's last known address as Amos Ferguson Street. As for how he looks, well, police say he's dark-skinned, between 5'6" and 5'9" tall and slim build. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of the alleged fraudster should call the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or 502-9992. Illegal dumping, a serious concern in a number of areas, but as Rochelle Newbold from the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection explains, there are a number of avenues for the public to file a report.
They have the best Protect 242 app. You can download it on your phone. You can take a picture of the truck with the license plate. That's important so that they can be identified such that even if they dump that, they would be identified to come and redress that situation. We all know right now in the country there is a concern about the economics. So we should be preventative, not because it costs more to correct something when we could have prevented it. And the Department of Environmental Health Services also has an environmental app that individuals can download, not only for letting us know when the waste hasn't been collected from your house, but to report issues of illegal dumping. It is illegal to dump into the environment by anybody, for any reason, at any time.
Now, Newbold adds that while some may find it convenient to dump anywhere, delicate aspects of the environment are often damaged and the cost often disregarded.
If the wetlands, like the mangroves, are in place, they have a value. If you damage those mangroves, then you will have to pay for not only the ones that have been damaged, as also the work and labor required for their replacement, as well as the removal of the material that you put into that environment. So it's very expensive. It's better to take the material to the landfill on Harold Road, where you would only pay $0 to $10. Why incur hundreds of dollars because you wanted to do something illegally?
Hoteliers throughout the country mourning the loss of one of their own, J. Barry Farrington, who passed away Wednesday after a long illness. He was 85 years old. Farrington worked at the Atlantis Resort for over 4 decades. He was recognized on a national level for his outstanding contributions to the growth and development of the local tourism industry. Among those paying tribute to the iconic hotelier, President of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, Robert Sandy Sands.
JB, as he was affectionately known, was a highly respected and seasoned professional with a formidable understanding of the business of tourism. He will be greatly missed. He had a very impactful approach on the industry and on the lives of many of today's tourism professionals. He was certainly a mentor to many, including myself. His guidance and advice was sought by many persons in this country. May he rest in peace.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shop for sweet savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kellogg's assorted cereals, family size, $4.99. Rainbow evaporated milk, large, 2 for 99 cents. Campbell's vegetable soup, 10.5 ounce, 2 for $2.25. Red, green, or black seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Bone-in chicken breast, $1.79 per pound. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Hey guys, this is your boy Landlord, and I want you guys to tune in right here on ZNS TV 13 every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. for Positive TV.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocol. Restaurants may operate utilizing curbside pickup, drive-through, takeaway, or delivery. Any establishment who allows the entry of any person not wearing a mask is liable upon a summary conviction to a fine of $500. I am Ambassador Ashanti Ruko of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Today, governments and organizations the world over are observing World Sight Day, a day carved out every second Thursday in October to raise awareness around visual impairment. Our Anthony Smith spoke with a local advocate. Here's that story.
It was almost like in 2018 and went fully blind in 2019, March of 2019.
For 27-year-old Duran Baisden, it's been a long road adjusting to life visually impaired.
I was sheltered and then didn't want to talk to nobody and come outside. Then I came across the Bahamas Alliance of Blind and Visually Impaired. They helped me open up, and I started adjusting.
A shared experience among many blind persons and something longtime advocate and KRM Group founder Kendrick Rowe knows all too well. And today, on World Sight Day, he's sounding the alarm and raising awareness for a small community that stretches countrywide.
There are nearly 1 billion people in the world living with visual impairments, and more than 50% of those did not have to happen because of poor eye care practices. And to that end, we recognize that visual impairment, it affects persons of all ages.
This year, though, through the globally celebrated theme, Love Your Eyes, Kendrick, Baisden, and others will champion the cause for increased accessibility for the blind and visually impaired.
Well, you could do many things if you put your mind to it. Nothing is unreachable for you.
Antoinette Smith, ZNS Network News.
Well, as widely known, more focus and attention also being placed on breast cancer. As of 2020, the World Health Organization cited over 7.8 million women living with breast cancer around the world. Here at home, a local author who too had to deal with a cancer diagnosis is doing her part to highlight the strength of some of the women battling the disease.
So we know that on social media, every Wednesday, people would post hashtag WCW, which means Woman Crush Wednesday. It dawned on me as the month of October was approaching, knowing that it's recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it would be a really nice idea to celebrate and highlight the warrior women who are in the fight against breast cancer. So I took it, whereas every Wednesday, I will highlight a woman that's in the fight against breast cancer or who have already survived breast cancer and now is a warrior.
Andrea Darville strongly believes there is strength in numbers.
When I shared my story, I received overwhelming positive feedback, not just from colon cancer survivors, breast cancer survivors, cervical cancer survivors, lung cancer survivors, ovarian cancer survivors. People were reaching out to me, and I know that from this experience, there is support in numbers. So what I really wanted to do was put a smile on other people's face in the same way I've been blessed by the amount of positive feedback that I have gotten when I shared my story. So my inspiration behind Warrior Women Wednesday is to put a smile on my surviving sister's face and let them know, hey, we are in this fight together and we will win.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the Bahamas and in Bahamian women.
At present, we are unable to prevent breast cancer, but performing screening mammograms can detect breast cancer at its earliest when there are no symptoms and when it is more likely to be treated successfully. All women should have a primary health care provider who is aware of their medical history, family history, and risk factors. Women 40 to 45 years can choose whether to start screening in consultation with their physician. All women 45 to 54 years should have an annual mammogram. Women older than 55 years can have a yearly mammogram or choose to have one every 2 years. Monthly breast self-exams in conjunction with the mammogram can increase the odds of early detection. Be proactive about your health.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate.
I'm Corbell Pfeiffer. BTC's commitment to Bahamian athletics and our athletes is a long-standing tradition. Through the years, we have stood with and for our athletes, cheering them on locally and wherever their athletic pursuits took them. And now, Olympic gold medalist Stephen Gardner has joined the BTC family.
I remember the many hours with Carol and her team marking the way for sports. I remember this kid who was 5 pounds less than he is now. I wouldn't call him skinny. He just took the track by storm. We couldn't believe it. A young man from Abaco without the necessary training facilities came and beat our best athletes in Nassau. I remember standing next to Mike Sands and Mike saying, boy, this boy is going to be special. And I can tell you that the values that Stephen carried and the values at BDC is a match made in heaven. I want to congratulate BDC and Stephen, of course, on behalf of the Bahamas Olympic Committee. We are pleased with these sponsorship and keep them coming.
From I saw Stevie, one thing came to my mind: I'm going to be an Olympic coach. Okay, and my wife and I, Vera, we spend much time catering to Stevie, but we believe in Stevie from day one. From day one, he's a manly kid. Whoever disciplined him from a child did an excellent job. I had no problem with him at all. None of, in fact, he was one of the leaders in my house, keeping the other athletes in check. I saw something great inside of him. I saw from day one that he would be a great ambassador for this country, and I really believed in him. And I'm excited that BTC have the same approach. They believe in him. And I appreciate you guys for coming on board with him and taking care of him.
Welcome aboard, Stevie. We could not be any happier to have you join our family. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pfeiffer. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
Health and education officials continuing to conduct assessments across the country, with the Minister of Health, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, and his team visiting another family island on Thursday. Minister Darville, who completed a tour of the southern Bahamas just last week, says it's a necessary move at this time.
Our next portion of the tour will be going from Long Island, working our way back to New Providence, and then lastly in the northern Bahamas, because education and health are working together to make sure that we're able to open our schools in an effective way, and to let the Bahamian people know that one protocol do not fit all. Different islands have different needs, and these protocols need to be adjusted to ensure that our students are safe, our teachers are safe, and our medical team are able to function in the event that we have a medical emergency.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies, a temperature of 84 degrees, relative humidity 74%, northeast winds at 9 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,012.3 millibars, that's 29.86 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the islands this evening are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Turtle Key, and Marshall, Babaco, the Berry Islands at 86, 85 in Hollistown, Bimini, Harbor Island, 82 degrees, Rock, Sandy, Lutra, 84, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, St. Andrews at 83, Fresh Creek, Central Andrews, 82 degrees. Out of San Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, all at 84, more 84s in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Ackland, Matthew, Nago, 85 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also have a temperature of 85 degrees. And your boating forecast is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight through Friday, you can anticipate a north to northeast flow, speeds around 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will take place at 10:20 tonight, another low tide at 10:28 tomorrow morning. And then on Saturday, for all areas, the winds become light and variable throughout the 700 islands with flat sea conditions. Low tide 11:31 in the morning, high tide at 5:44 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. Time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
They call me hot cake. I'm in a poor state, yet I stay on guard. I protect their yard. They hardly feed me. Sometimes I'm so thirsty. They say I ain't got no pedigree. They don't love me. They only know me when they need me. They don't love me. They only know me when they need me.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Extended weather forecast is still ahead.
You should see them.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals, and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from. The future is what we aspire to, but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are. Where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were, and now you get to see who we are. We are alive.
Financial resilience is the ability to withstand and
and recover from temporary financial hardship and disruptions.
Hi, I'm Ed Fields.
My name is Hope Strowman.
I'm Franklin Butler. My name is Patrick Ward.
I am Roselle Boxey.
This is Kwesi Thompson. Let's talk financial resilience for a few minutes.
To learn more, visit the Securities Commission of the Bahamas website at scb.gov.bs.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
While it's encouraging that the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going successfully, it's not the only precaution to reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. It's important to continue practicing safety protocols because it is our social responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Wash your hands for a friend with a weaker immune system.
Only read and share information from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary panic.
I'm gonna need y'all to avoid these large crowds. You could have loved ones at home who have underlying health conditions. Do it.
Practicing safety protocols is an act of brotherly and sisterly love.
The life you save may just be yours as well as your neighbor.
Together we will win.
We will win.
We, the body of the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists, or BAMAT, offer this pronouncement because our celebratory activities were suspended. We wish to say thank you to all essential healthcare workers, police and defense force officers, and to encourage the youth of this nation to seek out fields in the medical laboratory profession. And to let you know that this is a viable option for a successful and rewarding career. Scholarships are available through the Ministries of Health and Education to help you reach your goals. This announcement is brought to you by the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns played their final preseason game last night against the Portland Trail Blazers. This one was all Suns, who won 119-74. Ayton had 8 points and 11 rebounds. The Suns now gear up for the regular season opener next Wednesday against Denver. Like DeAndre and the Suns, Kai Jones and the Charlotte Hornets also closing out their preseason schedule last night. Not a good showing for the Hornets. They lost big, 127-59 to the Dallas Mavericks. Kai was scoreless with 4 rebounds or assists in 16 minutes off bench. The Hornets also start regular season play next Wednesday against Indiana. As for Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings, they close out their preseason schedule tonight against the LA Lakers. Buddy sat out the Kings' last game against Portland. In the Kings' previous 2 games, Buddy came off the bench averaging 12.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. The Kings have won all 3 of their games so far and look to finish the preseason strong ahead of their regular season opener next Wednesday against the Blazers.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Not wearing a face mask is an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $200 or a term of 1 month imprisonment or both fine and imprisonment. I am Ambassador Jasmine Scott of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
I'm here at the Dixon Hill Lighthouse in San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Let's get it right, Bahamas. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay 6 feet apart. Remember to always practice physical distancing.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and this television station.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to wash down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out to an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
It is normal to feel overwhelmed, lonely, scared, or sad during a crisis. Coping can be difficult when your daily schedule is interrupted. Drinking may feel good, but is not the best way to cope with stress. It can worsen your mental and physical health and impact your family. So how can you cope? Keep physically active, like taking a walk or dancing. Cook and eat nutritious food, including fruits and vegetables. Engage in indoor activities like playing games and staying connected with family and friends. Meditate, encourage yourself, or enjoy music. Still feeling overwhelmed? We are here to listen. This message is brought to you by these partners.
Diabetic eye disease is caused by changes in the blood vessels of your retina. This disease is the most common cause of vision loss among patients with diabetes and is the leading cause of blindness and visual impairment in working-age adults. Symptoms of diabetic eye disease can include floaters in your vision, blurred vision, fluctuating vision, impaired color vision, or generalized loss of vision. Smoking can quadruple your risk of progression of this disease. Bottom line is, smoking will cause you to go blind faster with diabetes. So quit smoking. Also, for expectant mothers who are diabetic, it is very important that you have your eyes examined during pregnancy, as rapid changes can occur in your eyes during pregnancy. And remember, good eye health is a combined effort between your eye care team, your medical doctors, and you, the patient.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather in the tropics, we still have that little area of low to the east of the Bahamas. That's going to race towards the east and away from our area, so no problem there at all. Like satellite pictures right now showing that upper level trough still spinning around the northwest Bahamas, and that will continue to support pockets of showers and thunderstorms. Elsewhere, the winds are going to be light and variable as that high pressure continues to collapse on the surface. Partly cloudy with a passing shower possible tonight, the low temperature getting down to 74 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at passing morning showers. Otherwise, it's going to be a simply partly sunny day with a high temperature of 85 degrees. Extended weather forecast, once again, keeping you in the mid-80s during the daytime. Showers looking around into Friday. Thereafter, we expect some drying out of the atmosphere. The weekend is looking great with lots of sunshine, and that will continue until Monday, when we'll see some more showers and thunderstorms return to our forecast. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
It's been a 2-year journey since we ratified Power to Prosper, the BPL Strategic Plan 2020 to 2025. In that 2 years, we've made significant progress turning the company around, together with the hard work and dedication of our skillful and committed team members. First, let's look at reliability and efficiency. The improvement is clear. BPL suffers fewer interruptions in power, and they don't last as long. Perhaps the most critical measure is the fact that there were more than 76% fewer feeder trips in fiscal year 2020 versus fiscal year 2021. That means there was an overwhelming reduction in the number of times the lines supplying power to our customers would have lost power for any reason. We've added energy-efficient, fuel-flexible engines to our fleet. 132 megawatts of Wärtsilä engines at Station A in Clifton Pier, plus the 33-megawatt General Electric TM2500 aeroderivative gas turbine at Blue Hills Power Station. Our grid in New Providence has benefited from the improved reliability, flexibility, and efficiency of these engines. We're also excited that both the Wärtsilä engines and the TM2500 can run on liquefied natural gas as well, which is directly in line with our future growth plans. We've embraced technological advances at BPL in unprecedented ways, and those advances are making a difference. Our Generation Control Center at the Big Pond Complex brings control of 100% of BPL's generating assets on New Providence into the same physical space for the first time. This will significantly increase efficiency of fleet management and allow for exponentially faster reaction to generation-related issues in the system. We have increased the deployment of supervisory control and data acquisition infrastructure, or SCADA. SCADA also improves the reliability of supply by reducing duration of outages. When it comes to technology, we've also embraced the most cutting-edge technology to promulgate our first solar generation plant. The Ragged Island microgrid is designed to support the Green Island Initiative